Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Walking Dead video leading up to the 4th episode for The Walking Dead Season 8. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on a possible confrontation this season between Rick and Daryl? And spoiler warning if you guys are not caught up for The Walking Dead, which is up to Season 8, Episode 3. So, this one came in from a couple people, Med1965 as well as Robert Frank 615. They both pretty much said something similar, and I thought it would be great to start this video with. And it isn't unfounded. It's based on pretty much what was said on Talking Dead. So Med calls it out here. He says, hey, Trev, do you think there may be a conflict starting to brew between Rick and Daryl? The way Daryl killed Morales and the Savior who surrendered, Rick looked very angry. Norman Reedus hinted as much on Talking Dead that there, quote-unquote, could be a chance of a confrontation happening. He also could be intentionally putting out wrong info too. He's done that in the past, and I'll stop there for a sec for Med. The only thing is he seemed really tired on Talking Dead, as Chris Hardwick pointed out. He hadn't slept very much that week because they've been working so much. So usually when you get to be that tired, you're probably not as good at misleading people or protecting. Your willpower gets drained, so you have less. You become more kind of just automatic. You just say things automatically, impulsively, without really thinking it all the way through about trying to mislead people intentionally and stuff like that. He's done that in the past. When do you think they will go back to Negan and Gabriel at the Sanctuary? Episode 5, your thoughts, keep up the great work. So let's stick to the first part, and then we'll get into the second question after that. And also, Robert Frank had said, hey, Trev, I don't know if you caught the Talking Dead after Season 8, Episode 3, but Norman Reedus confirmed that he would be getting into hand-to-hand combat this season, and with someone you wouldn't expect, quote-unquote. Rick gave Daryl a look when he hit Morales with a bolt, and then gave him the death stare when the Savior gave up the location of the guns, and Daryl shot him after Rick gave his word. Do you think Daryl and Rick can get into a fight this season similar to Morgan and Jesus? So I think this is kind of a cool one, and yeah, so it comes from Talking Dead. Sometimes with Talking Dead, there's actually some really good stuff in it. I mean, I do enjoy Talking Dead. I don't always get to watch it because right after I watch Walking Dead, I'm filming all night for you guys for videos for the week. And so if I do get to watch Talking Dead, it's usually on like Tuesday or Wednesday of each week after we're done filming all the videos and Q&As and everything we're doing, right? So that's just kind of how it works out. With this one, though, this was a really cool episode to check out. You also had Juan Perez, who played Morales, of course, and he was on there too, which was really cool to see because, that's probably it for his time on Walking Dead, so it's cool to see him, return like that. So it was a really cool episode, and I did like that. This one of Talking Dead, it did add some stuff in there that was good. And also, what Norman Reedus said, so we know that Daryl's going to get into a fist-to-fist, confrontation with someone that you wouldn't expect. So that sounds like it's probably someone on his own side. That sounds like it's probably one of the survivors. Now, it could be Rick, but it could be somebody like Jesus too. Since we've already seen Jesus fighting Morgan, it would seem a little bit repetitive if he fought Daryl over kind of the same thing, which is like Jesus seems to be the only one in the let's not kill them all camp, right? He's leading the charge of the let's not annihilate everybody, because Morgan sure seems to want to, Daryl sure seems to want to, and even Tara wants to, because of course what happened with Denise earlier way back in season 6. Is that right? That's like, I think back, right? So many seasons and episodes. But yeah, so I think this could be really cool if they do some kind of fight between Daryl and Rick over what to do. Maybe they, near the end of the battle here, Daryl and Rick throw down because maybe Rick has decided that he wants to give people a chance to surrender and survive, and Daryl decides, no, we got to kill them all, governor style, that type of thing. Because of course, Daryl wants revenge on Negan and the Saviors. Tara wants revenge on them because they've, lost people. Tara's lost people. Daryl's been kind of tortured and made to listen to Easy Street for a long time. So they both want to get back at them really badly. I love for Daryl, there's the always accountable line, if you look back, where he's talking to Dwight, and he sees Dwight again with the half-face thing, and then, Daryl says, should have killed you. And then Dwight says, yeah, you probably should have. So that's, that's something that we might not always remember because that's a couple seasons old at this point. Like season 6, we first meet him, and then at the end he comes back. And yeah, you probably should have. So now you can see why Daryl is like 100% is like, no, Rick, you're wrong here, or no, whoever, you're wrong here. The right thing is to kill him. I let them go before, and they killed Denise. I let them go, and look what happened. So yeah, and even Dwight agrees with him. At that point, like, yeah, you should have killed me. Is what it is, right? So it's really cool. I love the setup, and one of the best things The Walking Dead does, I think, is characters. Even sometimes, like, we do the videos all the time, right? You guys leave comments. You guys watch the show all the time. I watch the show all the time. We watch Talking Dead. We do this extra stuff. We do predictions and all this stuff, trailers and what have you. But sometimes even I forget why characters behave in certain ways that they do. And you kind of have to trace it back if you haven't watched some of those episodes for a while. Like with Tara, you got to check it out and see, like, okay, why does she feel this way? Oh, that's right. Yeah, they killed Denise, right? So it makes sense she wants to kill them all. Daryl, oh yeah, that's right. He let Dwight go the first time, and then it came back to bite him later, and even Dwight agrees he should have killed him. So definitely each character's motivations make sense here, and if you forget, sometimes you just got to go back. But they do a really great job of setting things up and not forgetting who the characters are. That's one thing. Like season to season, they don't forget who the characters are, where the characters are at, even if sometimes I do, even if sometimes we forget where they're at and why Daryl's just killing everybody. It's not even just that he was kind of tortured, but even before that, he learned that if he lets Dwight go and the others go, they're going to rob him, they're going to take his bike, and they're going to screw him, and then they're going to kill people on the survivor side. So really cool stuff, and I would love to see a fight between Rick and Daryl over that, because it totally makes sense, because, Daryl would 100% be committed to that now at this point after everything he's seen. Rick would probably think, like, we can't do it this way. You can't just kill everybody, and to see them throw down would be awesome. And he kind of was talking about that, I think. Earlier, he was talking about shooting with Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick. So I think that's where you guys got the idea that, okay, maybe it'd be a fight between the two, because it kind of seemed like activation, like he was talking about like pathing in the mind, right? You talk about this, and then you talk about what you're doing recently with him. So maybe it's not Rick, maybe it's somebody else, but it just really seems like it was Rick because of the context and because they were talking about Andrew Lincoln just pretty recently, and he'd been filming a lot of stuff since then. So this could even happen in the back half of this season, of season 8, but man, that would be wicked. And you'd have to kind of have Rick win, I think, because of just the way it would go. Like if Rick and Daryl are to throw down fist fight, I think you do kind of have to have Rick win that one. Even if you'd say, well, maybe Daryl would win. I don't know. You guys can leave your comments below. Who would win between this one if you're going to go Rick and Daryl fist fight to the end? Both feel totally convinced by their motivations. Who takes this one? Who wins? I guess I gotta go with Rick, yeah. But that'll be damn cool. And if you guys think it'll be somebody else, then leave comments below on who you think it is. Next will be from Matt Dio, who says, being at the stage Rick is at now, do you think he would have executed Randall? So you guys got to remember Randall back from season 2, right? And that's something that, if you think back long enough, that's true, that this debate is nothing new. This is something that was debated about in season 2's finale. It was a huge concentration there, where Shane wanted to kill Randall, Dale and the others, and eventually Rick did not want to, and it just became a thing. And they even struggled with it in season 3. Rick had the offer for the governor to hand over Michonne, and he was thinking about it, and in order to make it all go away, and for their as a peace offering, so to speak, which probably wouldn't have worked anyway. But it's definitely not a new kind of concentration of when to kill and what's the right answer and what should you do. But right now, I think a couple episodes ago, Rick would definitely have killed Randall. But right now, I think after Morales, and that's one of the best things about them bringing back Morales, is that Morales actually does trigger something inside Rick where he realizes how fast death can be, how quick it can be delivered, and how there's no possibility left in death. When you kill a character like that, there's no way you're going to be able to bring him back to your side or convince them otherwise. So, yeah, man. Yeah, it's true, right? So, Randall. A few episodes ago, probably. Right now, though, I'm thinking that he probably, maybe the circle thing, right? You just, we think we change, but then we just kind of go back to the same afterwards, right? Like the Morgan full circle, right? Rick actually might go the other way because the kid he offers a deal to, and then the kid comes out, and Rick tells him, "You tell us what you need to know, and then you go, you get to live," right? I think Rick was gonna, be good on that deal. I think Rick is pissed off that Daryl killed the kid when he could have let him go, but that's equivalent, I'd say, in a lot of ways to Randall. So, yeah, with the Randall situation, I think he really would have let him live right now anyway, after seeing what just happened. And maybe that's one of the best things about bringing Morales back is that it actually does have a profound effect on Rick. And, it's just really great stuff, man. Really, really, really well, well designed, I think, for the season, for what's going to come later probably. Jay Morris says, Q&A, Trev, do you think it's strange that we haven't seen Negan and Gabriel since episode 1? We probably won't see them in 4 either, so that'll be 4 whole episodes without 2 of the principal cast and the main big bad of the season. And that's very true. We also have not seen the Junkyard Group at all, Jadis or any of the others yet for this season. And I think that's one of the reasons why you don't keep a character like Morales around, because really you have so many characters right now in the show. You have some new characters that really have not been, have not had that much time. I feel like it's a little bit sidetracked, but it's good. It's a little bit sidetracked from that because of the way the story's going right now and the way the battle's going, the war. But, I'd expect to see Negan back. Maybe not, Sunday night, so not episode 4, but probably episode 5, So that is a while, though. It's like pretty much 4 episodes in between, 1 to 5, when we actually probably get to see Negan and the others again. But it should be exciting when we do see them, and because, people will want to see them at that point, because they got to be wondering, well, what happened with them? Well, all this other stuff is going on. So, that's just what happens when you have such a huge cast and you're doing big things. So, I'm really enjoying it right now. A nice mix for the season. If people don't like Negan and they're like, I hate season 7 because I hate Negan. Well, maybe you like this season better because Negan hasn't been in it hardly at all. Christopher Perry says, a new theory, character to drive Trev crazy. G from Vatos, the home survivors. So, yeah, so they want to turn, so a lot of trolls, well, I don't know if I call you Trev. I was just joking, right? You're just messing around. But you want to keep talking about the Vatos. The Vatos are dead, like I said, okay? They're not Morales. They can't fill Morales' shoes. The M shoes are too big. You can't do it. And, they were shown to be dead in the deleted scene. So that's it. And it's not even just really a deleted scene because first, it was actually supposed to be the season 2 premiere. It's just that the footage was so bad they decided not to use it. And Frank Darabont had tirades and all kinds of email stuff and talking about throwing dead bodies around and stuff like this. So look into it. It's in the channel. Look into it. AAD Music Romania says, "Where's Sherry, man?" And again, what did I just say? Right? There's so many characters. You can't dedicate time to every single one. There's too many. So I think we'll see her in this second half probably. But, it could even be after All Out War, I guess. You have Simon, you have the others. It's like, damn. You have Gavin and all these other characters in there. Junkyard Group coming back soon. All kinds of crazy stuff. Some stuff coming up for the Kingdom, it looks like, because they just lost a few of theirs. The 50 Cal guys. So, crazy stuff. And the last one is from Ben Dover, who says, so gutted the way they handled Morales. I would have preferred to not see him again rather than having, seen him, but then have him be killed right away. They could have done so much more, and shows a lack of ambition to me from the creators. What are your thoughts, Trev? Well, like I said above, they did use him for a purpose. It wasn't just, well, it was kind of like because we wanted it probably too, but as well too, it is important to Rick, I think, and I think we can all see that when Daryl pulled that trigger, it does have consequences for the characters, and it does affect their development, that maybe it's not so simple to say that killing is always the right way to go. And and also, like I said, there's so many characters, you can't. So, I personally am like this. I am happy they brought him back. If they never brought him back at all, I'd still be hearing bullshit theories about him for the next fucking how many years. So let's do it this way. They bring him back, they kill him off, they use it for Rick, it changes Rick vastly, and it changes the course of the season and how Rick handles the rest of the war. I think that's pretty good. For Morales, that's probably the best you're going to get. I don't think you're probably going to be able to get much more than that. That's more than I think we could have asked for. Yes, it would have been cool to see him become a reoccurring, long-running character, but you don't know all the details here. You don't know, I don't know the actor's background and, how much time he had available or what he had going on. I don't know, I don't know, when they decide to bring him back, what was, when was that choice made? I mean, there's a lot of factors here. It's not as simple as a comic book where you just draw him in whenever you want to see him. There is other things involved here, and there's a lot of stuff going on. There's other people that want time in the show, like Lenny James, who was upset last year that he didn't get that much time, or he was so distant from everybody. And so, yeah, it's tricky, man. It's tricky because you're dealing with real people. They want work. They're committed to the show. And so, like people like Sherry, like her actress, right? We haven't seen her at all this season. Does she get paid at all for the season? Is she going to show up later? Is she going to have to get a job in the meantime? And I don't mean to pick on her, just bring her up, but any of them, right? So for Morales, it's kind of like, I appreciate they brought him back. It sounds like the actor from Talking Dead, he said that he was happy to come back and do it. And that was great, man. And personally, I think that's probably the most we can ask for. I mean, it would have been cool if they'd have done more. I'd have liked it. I would have liked to see more. But I don't think we can request that. I think we should just be happy for what we got. And I don't think it would have been better if they never brought him back. I do think it added a lot to the season. It added a lot to episodes 2 and 3. And, it's going to affect Rick in the future as well, too, like we're talking about in this video. So that'll be it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you think about this one. How are you feeling about Rick as a character and his development, the impact that Morales has had on him, and now how him and Daryl are probably going to be at odds, at least, maybe, or unless it's somebody else. Write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. Even better, leave a comment below with another question for a video tomorrow or the next day leading up to the 4th episode. And subscribe if you're new. Bottom left, put on those sub and pants. That's it for this one, guys. We'll see you again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.